some play calling duties and things. You called over half the game, he said, on Saturday and stuff. What was that like for you? And was it kind of leading up to that as far as him handing over some of that control?
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of just a normal game situation. You know, we kind of just go back and forth in between series and stuff of what happened in the last series and stuff that, you know, we feel like we can attack them with the next series. And, you know, I don't think it was a big deal or anything. It was just kind of happened like that and throughout the course of the game. And you know, we were able to come away with the win.
Have you called plays before this season, before that game?
Yeah. At Utah, called plays for 3 years. No, for 2 years at Utah.
I'm talking about this season at State. Have you called plays before that?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a constant dialogue in between myself and him when we're on offense and, you know, helping to get stuff ready in between series and we might be on with the defense. So it hasn't, you know, it's not like a huge deal.
Was that more involved than you'd been at any point, or was it really basically like
it? It was basically how it's been, you know, for the most part. You know, to be quite honest with you, it's kind of been like that for the last 3 years. So, as far as just having constant dialogue with him on what he thinks we were, and that kind of is for everybody on the offensive staff. I think we all have been together for an extremely long time, and you know how we want to attack defenses and know what we have in the game plan and how we can come up with certain in-game adjustments and things of that nature. So it was just us being ball coaches.
What are the conversations like in between the series? What are you guys discussing? What are you talking about?
Well, I think the biggest thing is you know, how they played us the previous series. You know, what they're doing formationally. What are some of our tendencies? How we handle you know, different protections, different blitzes, things of that nature, and just putting together stuff that we like for plays to come and kind of going through that. So typically what happens is, you know, when everybody comes off the sideline from series, we kind of go through in detail the series of everything that happened and go through any adjustments that we might have throughout the course of the game and go from there.
Dan talked about you getting in a rhythm that game. He noticed it, and that's when he started turning a little more attention to the sidelines, letting go. Was there a point you felt like you were really in a play-calling rhythm?
Yeah, I mean, you can kind of see from where I sit in the game, you can kind of see stuff sometimes a little bit before it happens of how defenses are aligning and what they're going to call next, and you can kind of get going a little bit like that. But, you know, I thought we did a great job as an offensive staff. We had a really good plan in. You know, our plan was, all week we talked about was just keeping us out of third and longs and keeping us in manageable situations. And when we were third and 9 or less, we were 11 for 11. So that was really the course of the game, and we tried to just drill that with the quarterbacks all week of just making sure that you keep our offense on schedule.
Did you call plays from the booth at Utah as well?
For 1 year I did, and 1 year from the field.
Well, did you see a difference in being on the field or being in the booth?
Yeah, I think that obviously you have more vision in the booth. It's a little bit more of a less emotional environment. You can kind of see what it is for, you know, at face value. You know, on the field you get the emotion of the game, and that's really just the two biggest differences, I would say, from being able to call plays in the box and calling them on the field.
The last 2 weeks, Sanford and Texas A&M, you're averaging over 9 yards on first downs, and some of that's the great big plays, but still, you're not getting a lot of second and third and longs now. What's been more efficient the last 2 weeks on first down?
You know, I think everybody's just getting comfortable and growing up and having experience to draw from on decision making. You know, I think Nick's done a great job of continuing to put us in position of giving ourselves a chance to execute on offense and not putting us behind the chains. Because, you know, as everybody knows, if we can make teams defend the run on third down, I think we're a very, very tough offense to defend. And, you know, once we were able to kind of get that going with some big plays on first down and taking some shots and hitting some shots and keeping defenses honest.
Alabama got to the quarterback a lot last year. What can Nick do to slow down that rush?
You know, the biggest thing is you just have to manage the pocket, understand timing, clocking head, get the ball out of your hands. And then we have to do some stuff to help him with, you know, moving launch points and changing timings of different things, throwing it quick. And and being able to run the ball and getting good plays on first down.
You've played in a big game against Alabama. What advice, if any, have you given to Nick about that?
Man, that's so long ago. That one is, I mean, there's nothing that game could do to help give him any advice. I mean, that's a completely different circumstance and program at the time. So, you know, the biggest thing for him is to study what they've done this year, how they've continued to evolve defensively, and how we can find ways to attack them.
Have you ever had a conversation with Saban about that game?
I have not, actually. You know, I've never gotten a chance to meet him in person. But every time I see Coach Burns a lot on the road recruiting, and you know, he reminds me of it every time I see him. So that's always fun.